Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. I say the things on here that nobody dare say. You know the rest. First of all, big shout out to our sponsors, Human Nutrients. Click in the link pinned to the comment section if you're interested. It'll light up blue. Just click on it. It'll take you straight to the website. Go and spoil yourself. And then you can look fantastic like me. Right. Usyk is a roadman. Come on. He's a roadman killer, this guy, isn't he? People telling me that he's got everything except to kill a punch. Wow. He's stopping people. He's beating them up. He's not getting hit. I think he's the complete fighter. Not everybody can be blessed with, you know, George Foreman type power, can they? And Wilder. But he's got everything, hasn't he? He's a complete fighter. Joe Rogan saying Usyk's the greatest of all time at heavyweight in a debate. I noticed how he was going on about Usyk swimming 5 mile in the morning and things like that. But he's been doing that for years. These were doing it in lakes as teenagers, ice cold lakes. Do you know what I mean? Endurance swimming and that. They're way ahead of us, these Eastern Europeans. Our lot have got it too easy. As soon as they turn pro, they want sponsors. The mollycoddle. Look at Usyk. He's a proper roadman. But he's finally getting his flowers from the boxing community and the media because the media can't hide it any longer. Bricktop's just sold us Dubois against Usyk, and he's telling us that he can win because he stopped AJ and Usyk didn't stop him. And that low blow, that's how they've sold it. It weren't a low blow. They've sold us the fight on that basis that he beat Joshua, and when he fought Usyk, it weren't a low blow. And that's it. They've manipulated all the media, all of them. So they've had to keep repeating it, repeat, and eventually people started to believe that Daniel Dubois could actually beat him, even though he lost every round in first fight. People were convinced Dubois were going to do him in, kill him. I mean, it's craziness what's gone on. But nobody's allowed to ask proper questions like this, added to Bricktop, because he just flares up, doesn't he? Like on Talksport the other day with Agbon Lahore and AD Alapido. Like Gabby Agbon Lahore asking questions with AD, and Bricktop just tore up, didn't he? And lost his rag, and they had to cut it out twice. But Talksport edited it so everybody knew they'd cut it out. They come with intimidation, don't they? People like Bricktop. And John Fury is another one. You can't ask him a proper question, or it'll just flare up, won't he? Or threat to slap people. And media are a part of the problem why boxing's like it is at the moment. We've got one world champion, Nick Ball. That's it. One world champion, Nick Ball, and nobody recognises him if he walked down the street. That's it for male world champions. Absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. They may have them YouTubers in the pockets, but they've got no balls, have they? None of them. They know what to ask and what not to ask. I find it amazing that a lot of people with press access have an opinion when they're in the bar amongst their close friends. When they get the opportunity to put these questions and their own personal opinion to these certain people in boxing, they don't do it. They're all fence sitters. It's embarrassing. I call them in-house media. In-house media. Oh, it is what it is, but the mainstream, they're folding as well, aren't they? I look at Talk Sport now, how Simon Jordan started out, and Terry always ribs me over this, always pulls me like, because I were team Simon Jordan, one off. And every time they mention Bricktop's name now, he just rolls over on his back, doesn't he, and cocks his legs up like a dog on eat. You know what I mean? None of them are putting it on Bricktop and about what they'd have done if they'd have had the belts. Because let me tell you this, them belts would be in house if he had them. But now he ain't got a leg to stand on. Him and Eddie Hills, they ain't got no legs to stand on as regards belts. Usyk's got all 5 belts plus ring belt. He's got 6 belts, like 6 belts. And I said the other day, and I'll say it now: watch them all try and get fragmented now because they can't hack it. They can't hack it. But he's got all his men in position, Bricktop. They're going to push it, but they can't have Moses Atoma rank that high and not call the mandatory. Oh, but they bought him some time now, aren't they? Because Parker's fighting, isn't he? So they bought him some time. Who's to say that Dylan White, the can man, won't beat him? But no, it's a cash out for Dylan, isn't it? There's always the Chisora fight there, isn't there? And there's always the AJ fight there as well. So, but let's have these managers called. What about the next in line? Do you know what I mean? We've had Joshua Usyk twice. We've had Fury Usyk twice, and we've had Daniel Dubois and Usyk twice. Them lots should be out of the picture now, right? Get to the bottom of the queue. Just more bare bums in the shower, them three. Let's get the next in line. You know, they've called Parker for WBO. He's interim champion, so let them get at it. And let's then have Pulev and Usyk if you want to go that route. That's when they'll all start squawking, isn't it? Once somebody like Pulev comes into the mix and there's not a lot of money for a fight, that's when all the people all want to change the rules then, won't they? But let's call Moses after Parker. Let him sit on his position. I mean, look at Derek Chisora. He's ranked number 2 with IBF, but number 1's not rated. So technically, Derek's highest there, isn't he? Highest rank. But there's Wardley, interim, WBA. So he's in mix. Caballel, WBC, interim. Lawrence Okoli, WBC number 1. We're spoilt for choice here, aren't we? Let's hope Lawrence can get his injury corrected. Team Lawrence Okoli. I get so much slaver on here for saying that, don't I? Hey, unbelievable. Big shout out to Champs Camp in Manchester. Moss Side, Joe G, Big Morris Core. Hope you're well, chaps. Pop, pop, bang. Keep watching the Porkster. It's nice to see them chaps watch it in the gym. So it is what it is. What I have to laugh about lately is this. You get Eddie Hills and Bricktop and all that, right? All they go on about is all roads lead to undisputed, this and that, blah, blah, blah. When Eddie Hills had the opportunity to fight Wilder with Joshua for undisputed, they went in a different direction. Do you know what I mean? It's whatever suits them and whoever's paying at them at the time. That's all it is. The boxing's easy. You can put a spin on it. You can say you're going to knock somebody out inside 3 rounds and then go 12 rounds with him in a stinker and then say, well, I just need to get rounds in. There's always an answer. It's like being a politician. But now that Joshua's out at mix, Dubois, Fury, none of them are at mix, are they, for an Usyk fight? You know, it's the lesser names now, isn't it? Turns, isn't it? Parker's, your Caballel. People like that. Lawrence Okoli, let's hope he gets his shout. You know. So, and that Moses Atoma, if he's ranked that high, well, he's got to be put in a world title. He's got to be put in one, hasn't he? We're going to see what he's like after he's fought Dylan White. But so Usyk, 13 wins over world champions, former, current, and future, in 24 professional fights. 13. All on the road. But we put that into perspective. Joe Calzaghe's got 10. in 46 fights. So what other 36? Usyk's got 13 in 24, so what, 11, over 11. You see where I'm coming from? Usyk's like Lomachenko, has gone straight at it, hasn't he, as a pro? Bit like Joe Joyce, but he sort of ran out of steam, didn't he? You know what I mean? But Muhammad Ali, 61 fights. He beat 16 champions. Hagler, 67 fights. Marvin Hagler, he only beat 7. So, and then you got Froch there, beat 11 out of 35 fights. He's probably modern day changing. What he probably changed it, Froch, but he changed the perception of boxing, I think. That run he went on, well, it's unheard of for a British fighter, that, unless it's Lennox Lewis. You know what I mean? Tell me another Brit who's gone on a run like that. Usyk's gone on a run like that, hasn't he? But Froch's run were amazing. Just saying. I have to tell it straight, even though he's a carcass of a geezer. But getting back to Usyk, I'm going to be controversial here. These 6 fighters here, right? There's other fighters I've left out, like Marciano, Joe Louis, Mike Tyson, Holyfield. I've left them out. Holyfield, because he's a doper. Mike Tyson, in his book, he admitted doping and peeing into a wizard and all that. So that to me, just what's going on there? Do you know what I mean? So he's not in my list. But Ali, Lennox Lewis, Joe Fraser, Foreman, Holmes, and Usyk, them 6 on any given day could beat each other. We could all find reasons for them to beat each other. I mean, Ali and Lennox, you could see Ali beating him, but you could see Lennox beating him. Lennox and Joe Fraser, if it had been a late 60s Fraser, who's to say you wouldn't have done him? Foreman, Holmes, you could see them both beating each other, couldn't you? But you could also see Usyk beating any of these. But you add it up that. So you'll think about it, that top 6 there. Anybody's top 6 better than this. I'll have a debate with anybody. Muhammad Ali, gold medalist at Olympics, world champion, undisputed. Lennox, gold medalist. He was main guy, won it undisputed. Joe Fraser, gold medal. Foreman, gold medal, undisputed. Pair of them. Usyk, gold medal, undisputed. Larry Holmes, only thing Larry Holmes ain't got is that Olympic medal, but he ain't learnt his craft, didn't he, in ring. So he's a grafter him. So he gets in my top 6. But like I said, Ali, Lennox, Fraser, Foreman, Holmes. Usyk, yeah. No Tyson Fury. No Anthony Joshua. No Dave Allen. Yeah, but he does numbers on IFL. No Dave Allen. Talented, but not putting enough effort in. So we're moving on then, by it looks of it, to Usyk against Joe Parker. The same Joe Parker who, well, he's lost on it to AJ, Dylan White, and Joyce. You know what I mean? So if you're losing to AJ, Dylan White, and Joe Joyce, you're not going to beat Usyk. Usyk's already beat Joyce in WBSS with headgear off. 5-round fight, beat him easily. He's already beat AJ twice, and you won't put Dylan White in with Usyk. It's somebody be on a murder charge, wouldn't they? Do you know what I mean? So I'd have Usyk to do Joe Parker inside 3 rounds. He'd think he was surrounded. So it is what it is. DAZN and pay-per-view. Turkey says there's going to be no more pay-per-view on DAZN. Does that mean his shows or DAZN as a whole? Because he's part owner in DAZN. So do you know what I mean? So, but does that mean if Eddie Hills and Bricktop put shows on DAZN, is it still going to be pay-per-view? Because it's not Turkey. So they need to clarify that because there's some confusion. on the internet about that. But I think it's just a conflict of interest having a TV platform and being a promoter as well. I think it is. But he's already got Ring Magazine. He's bought that off Golden Boy, which are part owned by Bernard Hopkins. You remember when he used to have Ring Magazine and just decide that, yeah, we're going to do Ring Magazine for 175 belt. He'd pick who he wanted to fight. It's a bit like that, isn't it, really? Conflict of interest. But there you go. So who can beat Usyk? People keep asking me this in comments, emails, text messages. I think Age is probably going to beat him, but at this moment in time, would J.O. Patia from Cruiserweight, could he step up and fight Usyk in a mega fight? Could he? I'm not so sure. Moses Atoma, he's a 12 fight novice. Right, 12 fight novice. With no Olympic background. 12 fight novice. Let's put things into perspective here. Right. So it is what it is. Maybe Atoma might beat him in what, 3 years? Usyk will be 41, 41 and a half. So Opatia, he's probably ready in 2 years, maybe to challenge Usyk. 2 or 3 years after going to heavyweights when he and growing to weight. I don't think he'd beat Usyk, to be honest. But if they're the best that they can offer, a world class cruiserweight stepping up, and a Toma, a 12-0 novice, is that the best that we can offer Usyk now? Does that mean he's run out of people to fight? Hey, is it just a case of mopping up some easy paydays now and keep spending them belts and fending off commissions trying to strip him because promoters are in their ear rolling up their arsehole? Hey, is that where we're at? So it is what it is. It's too early for OPT yet because he's not moved up to heavyweight yet, and it's way too early for a Toma. I mean, they could ruin a Toma if they put him in with Usyk, couldn't they? Could finish him off. Would they do that for out of pure greed? Would they do it out of pure greed? Francis Warren, Bricktop's son, the housewife's favourite, Francis. Would you do that, Francis? Just to get you send a quick few mil in manager's fees. Would you do that? Would you sell him down river? Or are you going to grow him till he's about 28, like everybody said? Let's see. People keep going on about Tyson Fury to me. Listen, I don't even think Tyson Fury is fucking interesting anymore, personally. I don't. I don't think he's interesting. I mean, he's had 2 goes at Usyk, can he? So gets it back at Q. You're another bare bum in shower. Old Luke Partridge coming out with that video back in saying that Daniel DeBar didn't quit and this and that. Oh my God, Luke Partridge. The Partridges. Oh my God. It is what it is. We'll get Isaac Lowe to wash your car. Pop, pop, bang. Oh, Bamba Gascoigne. If Turkey pulls the plug, right, Turkey, if he pulls the plug on all this Riyadh nonsense, where does it leave these lot? Would it go back to a Cold War? Would Eddie Hills walk? I don't think Eddie would walk, but I think if AJ were finished, I think Eddie would walk then. Yeah, he would. He would. But has Turkey throwing millions, or is it 2 billion or so into sport and all that around it? It does own buying and Ring Magazine and everything else. As Turkey spending all that money in boxing ruined small all boxing in the UK. I'm not even going to comment on Dennis's show the other day, but I've heard it with rhubarb. Big Ron with another rhubarber. And it's like that up and down country in it at the moment. So has that had a knock-on effect? So speaking of Big Ron, I've heard he's in talks with Sky. Well, sending them an email doesn't mean you're in talks. If they send you an automated email back, Dennis. So, but the word is that you've got to audition, like we all said years ago. You got to audition for a slot on Sky now. So let's hope that these promoters can put their hand in the pocket and pay some proper fighting money to these lads then to gain Sky slots. So, but I'd back Big Ron to get a show at Sky, but you need fighters, don't you, in your stable, don't you, to do it? Because if you get a slot on Sky, and the fighters that are going on it, they're on other people's fighters. There'll be manoeuvres behind the scenes to get people to pull out and stuff like that. And you need your own fighter, your own stable. So Dennis is going to have to go sign some fighters. So or work with some people on a promise. So, but good luck to Big Ron if he can pull that off. Uh, with the other two are not involved in, not going to be going for Sky. They're at DAZN, aren't they? I think Sky's going to struggle me now. I really do. We've just had the struggling period with Adrian Mole, haven't we? AKA Benjamin Shalom, who puts on 3 or 4 shows and that gets the Sky exclusive. You could not make that up, could you? You couldn't make that up. But there you go. So that's about it, really. So thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. If you want to check out Human Nutrients, click on the link. It's pinned in the comment section. 3:45 on a Friday. I think I've got that Friday feeling. One pop, pop, bang. Booyaka.